I did an episode, a few weeks ago, and it was a lady whose only son died in combat. She donated his organs, and his heart actually went to a family or a close connection that was on the donor list for a long time. And there were dozens and dozens of people whose lives were changed because of her son's organs and tissue. And some of them know about her son, some of them don't. But I'm thinking, I'm just putting myself in your shoes. So Jill Stevenson talked about the shoes of the family that donated the organs and the tissues, and what that decision, how hard that decision was, but how many lives were touched by it. You're the opposite end of the spectrum. You're the one who wakes up, and honestly, you have a very weak heart for years, and then no heartbeat for years. And now you wake up and you've got somebody else's heart, and it's beating strong in your chest. And
it is strong. It is so strong. I remember having a headache because it was so strong. I was like,
this heart is working so hard that it's pumping blood for the first time in a long time to my brain.
Yes, it was. And I said, I remember there's a video of me. I'm actually watching the Saints game because I woke up for that game. And they're like,
did the Saints win?
It was the game with
the game where they lost in I remember this game. Yep. I remember it.
Going, and I'm tied to the bed and I'm not on my machine.
Wow.
But even in that video, I look over at my nurse and she's like, I'm blinking my eyes really hard. And she's like, are you okay? And I'm like, this heart is on it. Like, it is beating.
I don't want to put you in a really awkward place. Can you tell us whose heart that is, or just tell us a little bit about the person whose heart you received?
This heart belongs to Gary.
Wow. Hey, if you're driving, you can't see this picture that she's holding up of Gary, this young, what looks like very healthy young man, who just gave a second chance at life to Brittany because he lost his.
That's right. So this is my Gary, and this is just as much his story as it is mine.
That's a beautiful picture that you got there of Gary's heart beating strong in your chest.
Yeah, it is. He was 22. And
wow.
He lost his life. But
how old are you when you received Gary's heart?
When I received Gary's heart, I was 33.
Uh-huh.
So my heart now is younger than I am.
Yeah. I was going to say, for a lot of the listeners right now, they're like, this lady has an incredible story, man. What an amazing woman. But the story doesn't end there. Tell us what happens next. In the same year to you, you received Gary's heart during the playoffs, January of 2018.
During the playoffs, January 2018. That's right. I get the heart. I'm doing great. And I go home. I'm walking the day I come out of surgery.
You walk home from the hospital?
No, I didn't walk home from the hospital.
Not walk home, but I mean, you're walking. Yeah.
Walking around the hospital and I'm on the treadmill. And I am going.
Wow. This is incredible.
It's a 22-year-old heart, right? Like I am going. And I go home and everything is great. And the healing is going really, really well. And as a gift to myself, I said, you know what? If I survive all of this stuff, because remember, I haven't celebrated my master's degree. I haven't, I've got stuff I want to celebrate. I said, I'm going to go to Australia. I really want to go to Australia. So I said,
why?
Okay.
Why Australia?
Australia and Antarctica are my last two continents, and then I've hit everyone.
What? All right, so, look at you.
We're trying to catch all of them while we're on this planet.
All right. Okay.
So I said, okay, I got the heart on January 12th, and my birthday is January 17th. So I was like, it'll be like a birthday present /
yeah, that's a birthday present right there.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do all of that stuff at one time. So I'll take myself to Antarctica for that. So I had to go get my 1-year checkup. So I went kind of late December. I said, hey, I know I'm not quite at a year yet for my heart, but I feel like I have a cold. So I just want to make sure everything's good. So they did a full workup. And they said, no, you don't have a cold, actually, but you can't go to Antarctica. I said, okay, well, what is the problem? Because I know something's wrong. And they said, between your liver and your spleen, you have about 300 cancerous lesions. You have stage 4 cancer.
Oh my goodness. You have a brand new heart at the beginning of 2018. And by the end of 2018, they're telling you stage 4 cancer and a lot of cancer. And your hopes and dreams for a second chance of life just came shattering in around you.
Right. Because a healthy Brittany pre-heart transplant with a healthy heart would have been up for this challenge. But Jeff, I have died 6 times. I've lived for 2 years on a mechanical heart. And now I'm carrying the heart of another man trying to push his legacy forward. And you're telling me I have to go to battle with stage 4 cancer? And it's not something they can open me up and cut out. There are 300 micro-sized lesions in major organs, and I cannot do anything except go through chemo and radiation.
And by the way, the little that I know about cancer, this type of cancer in this region of the body is extremely painful and very, very hard to treat. So, man.
And you know, they told me, they said, you're going to have to go through chemo. You're going to have to go through radiation. Everything is going to hurt. And because you already have only half of an immune system. When you go through chemo, you won't have any immune system. So everything will be trying to kill you, even your own body. So you see how people are when they're just going through chemo, just how their bodies change, how that takes a toll. So imagine that. Plus, I'm still taking medicine to make my immune system even lower so that it doesn't find this beautifully transplanted heart. And I still have to pretend, because I can't tell Micah I have cancer. He just recovered from transplant with me.
I was thinking, I know friends that have gone through chemo and radiation kind of middle of their life, and it devastated them so bad that at some point they just decided, I'm not doing it. I'm going to let the cancer run its course. This is worse than dying of cancer. And they stopped the treatments because it's that devastating. But I don't know any of them who are going through it with a brand new heart transplant the same year that you get this cancer diagnosis. I can't imagine the mental toughness that it took for you to handle that kind of pain and what that was doing to your body.
Well, and to be honest, the one thing I asked my doctor, he said, is there anything I can do for you? I said, you can give me the number to a really good psychologist because I'm going to need some support.
Yeah, of course you are.
He said, you can just use anybody. Anybody.
He said, just call anybody who is done with heart transplant and stage 4 cancer in the same year. Sure.
Right. And I said, no, I can't call anybody. I need someone, because anybody hasn't written letters to their son for every birthday.
Right.
Anybody